Hello
And
welcome
to
Past and Picture Podcast, episode 4.
So it's my week.
Cool.
Yay! Back to history. But it's kind of history and film this week as
Okay.
well.
Sounds good.
So we're doing Night at the Museum.
Ooh, I love a good night at the museum. A
Same.
good Ben Stiller film.
So true. And Owen Wilson and Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yes.
So Tony, tell me about Night at the Museum. What are we going to look at today?
Well, I'm not doing it as Amanda would do it as a film one.
Yeah.
We're doing a tour of the exhibits.
Ooh. So we're going to be looking at all of the historical figures in the
Yes.
film. Okay, cool.
So as I'm your charming, beautiful tour guide, I'm going to go around a couple of the exhibits at the museum instead of looking at the plot of the film, because I don't care about the plot. I care about the education.
Okay. Education.
I do have a plot summary ready though, in case
Okay.
anyone is interested.
Yes.
And Amanda watched this film the other day.
I am fully versed in the story of
Yeah.
Night at the Museum.
And I'm fully versed in the historical artifacts of Night at the Museum.
Nice. I'm very interested.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So, plot summary. Larry, our guy Larry, who's Ben Stiller.
What a name.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were like, let's call him the most boring,
the
normal
most
guy
normal
ever.
person name.
John Smith. No, Larry. Becomes a security guard at the Natural History Museum.
Okay.
And on his first night there,
Mm-hmm.
all the exhibits come to life. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's stressful though. It's not fun. It's stressful because
Mhm.
they're all like nasty. Not
Yeah.
nasty, but like he's getting like arrows shot at him. The dinosaurs trying to eat him. It's not a good time, but it becomes a good time because he
Mm.
starts to learn how to control them and like play fetch with the T-Rex.
Yeah.
and
Well, he
stuff.
has that sheet of
tips and tricks.
yeah, like the three old men who are retiring give Larry like a couple sheets of paper with like everything that he needs to do during the night to get done.
Yeah,
And then, as we all know, little capuchin monkey Dexter
he's so cute.
takes it and rips it apart.
Yeah, and then he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all this is happening because of an Egyptian curse,
Mm-hmm.
which is like
Akhman Ra's.
Akhman Ra, who you will
We
learn
will
about
get
later.
into.
He's not real.
What
He's fictional.
is he?
But I will tell you some true facts about some
Okay.
pharaohs anyway. So I've prepared 5 exhibits.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do 10, but then I realised then I'm either going to have to make them really short or the episode's going to be like far too long to keep
Okay.
everyone's attention. So I'm
No,
doing
yeah,
5.
that's fine. 5 well-rounded topics.
Yes.
Cool.
So, do you remember Jebediah,
Yes.
the cowboy?
The cowboy played by Owen Wilson.
Yeah, he's also fictional.
What?
I found out through my research.
What? You're telling me
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's not a real cowboy?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Jebediah, played by Owen Wilson, is a cowboy in the House of Miniatures in the
Mhm.
museum.
Yeah.
He's just like a fictional cowboy. He's not like Chris Columbus or something. He's
Chris
not,
Columbus was in the
Chris
film.
Columbus was in the film, but this Jebediah guy
Yeah.
is just like an image of a
Yeah.
stereotypical cowboy. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about cowboys. I feel like our image of cowboys is a misconception.
Okay.
So, like in school, where you'd
Mhm.
learn that they're really cool.
Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
Kinds of things. Yeah.
It's not really that bad.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to go too much into it because we're just doing a quick rundown.
Mm-hmm.
But here's some interesting facts that I found out through my research. Cowboys were animal herders on the North American ranches.
Mm-hmm.
So they also had deeper historic roots back into Spain and Mexico,
Oh, right.
which
okay.
was then spread into North America via colonialism. Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. So I really enjoy etymology. Do you know what etymology is?
I've heard of it, but I can't think from
So,
the top
like,
of my head what
The
it is.
roots of words.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
a lot of things.
I'm literally
You're literally
studying in that
studying it, yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Funnily this week, and it's
Exactly.
what one of my essays is on, and I
so
don't know what it is.
listen up. So the etymology of cowboy comes from the Spanish word. I did Spanish GCSE, but this is,
Okay.
vaquero.
Vaquero.
Yeah. Which means to manage cattle on horseback.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because obviously, like I said, it came from the Spanish first.
Oh.
The word cowboy was first used in print in 1725 by a guy called Jonathan Swift.
Okay.
So the term itself has had a couple of different meanings. So we think cowboy, we think yeehaw.
With like a lasso, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
woo.
But during the American Revolution, the word cowboy was used in a derogatory way to describe people opposed to American independence. Yeah. So
well, I mean, sometimes you call like people who do like little odd jobs, but they do them really fast, really cheap, and really awfully. Cowboy builders.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I need to get my nan on. She's got loads of stories about that.
Yeah.
But a cowboy was somebody who didn't want to be independent from Britain.
Okay.
See Hamilton. Not Hamilton, but like
i.e. Hamilton.
You know the guys like hey ye, and do you know what I'm talking
about? The king, Prince.
No, it's like plead not the rebel who scream revolution. They have not your interests at heart.
No.
Oh my God, Taylor's doing a part. That's the song. Oh my God, that might get cut. It's that.
No, we need to get all those Hamilton people from TikTok to watch.
Yeah, I know.
Or to listen to the podcast.
I love Hamilton.
I've seen half of it.
I will do an episode on Hamilton.
Great. People would love that.
Because Angelica was already married when she met Hamilton.
Angelica.
Oh my God, we should just do a cover.
Okay.
Not now.
The Styler Sisters.
Peggy.
Angela, what's this thread of the tree called?
It's Angelica, Eliza, Peggy.
Angelica, Eliza,
Peggy. Okay, so why did cowboys exist, you may ask?
Are they not herders, cattle herders?
Exactly. But great. Why did we need the boys to herd the cows? It's because the ranches in America were humongous.
Oh yeah.
Like the size of like a city.
What?
Like,
really?
Miles and miles and miles and miles. Because there was so much land in the West. I might do an episode on this as well. The westward expansion. But there's so much land in the West where everyone was just like, oh, I'll just take this bit. But it'll be like,
I'll take this 1,000
square miles.
Yeah, 1,000 square miles of land. And
everyone
everyone was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like for the majority of the year, the cows were just free roam.
Okay.
Chilling.
Cool. Like Home Range? Home on the Range? Home Range?
Is that a film?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's an animated film from so long ago.
Probably.
About cows and cowboys.
So they're just everywhere. So when it's time to count them, or it's time to breed them, or it's time to sell them or eat them, the cowboys would go in and be like, hey guys, let's all come over here, you know? So that's why they need to be on horses, because it was a big job.
Okay.
But then
interesting.
That kind of depleted when people started fencing in their cows, because people would steal them. Because they're called cow rustlers. Funnily
enough, I was watching Horrible Histories last night.
Of course.
And they were talking about pirates, and this pirate, I can't remember what his name was, but he had this great idea to steal cows, put them on a ship, and then all the cows got seasick and they threw up everywhere, and he was like, I gotta get off this ship, like this is bad. So he finds another ship, I think it was like an English ship, and they come over and they're like, right, we're gonna take you prisoner, and he's like, oh no, don't take me okay,
don't steal my
so then
cows.
They come in, because they don't realise the cows are in the ship. The British, and when they find out that the cows are there and they're throwing up and it stinks, he goes, nah. And he just leaves them abandoned on this ship with all these throwing up cows.
So I have a story that I learned in year 10 history class.
Okay.
Taking it back to my roots. If anyone listening also was in year 10 history class, you will know this. So sorry for rehashing the story. Credit to Mr. Spencer. It was Mr. Spencer.
Oh yeah, I know Mr. Spencer. I don't.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mr. Spencer, he did a lot. We did American West with him, and he told us this story. So if it's wrong, blame him.
Okay.
You know how there was the Civil War, quite a big thing in American history. So there was all these cows on these ranches, and all the men had to go off and fight in the war. There was like a very big death rate, fatality rate.
Okay.
Of men who went off to fight. So like every able-bodied man would go. Like that's just how it was. So in Texas, they had these cows called the Texas Longhorn.
Yeah.
And they're like you know the ones, the Highland cows, they look a bit like that. And so they all went off for a couple of years to fight in the war. Come back, there's like millions of them because they've all reproduced, like millions
of
cows.
Okay.
So they had to like sell them.
Yeah.
And that's when them selling them, they had to like travel big distances, and they'd set up little towns along the way. And that's how we got lots of little towns. And these little towns consisted of a pub, an inn, and some prostitutes.
Oh.
A jolly old night out.
Oh, right, okay.
Because they were the basics.
A jolly old night out.
That was the basics.
And a pie shop.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For the next day.
Yeah.
Hungover
Kebab
pie.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. A phone to call your wife and be like, I've spent all the money.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And we have no cows left.
Yeah, that's cowboys.
Okay, interesting.
Number 2.
Okay.
Rapa Nui, which is also known as Easter
Island head.
No.
Oh.
The Moai
Oh,
are the heads.
Oh, that's in Civ 6. He's one of the people in Civ. He's like a wayfinder, and you start with ship.
Moai.
If anyone plays Civ 6, then you'll know
No, my friends do.
what I'm talking about.
Levi does.
Yeah, I love Civ 6.
Yeah.
I love Civ.
It just looks too complicated for me. I don't know.
It's just a strategy game.
I don't like the interface. It looks like but then Stardew Valley did that, and now I'm like deep
In
Stardew Valley. Yeah. So, Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island, was is a Chilean dependency in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. So the inhabitants named the island Rapa Nui, and then the Dutch come later.
Okay.
Colonialism number 2, and call it Easter Island because they arrived on Easter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Creative. So the first European that went there was Dutch. He was called Jacob Rogvian. Can't understand my own handwriting here. And he only visited for one day.
And then he was like, put a flag in the floor and was like, it's going to be mine now.
Easter.
This is going to be mine.
Yeah. So he visited for one day, and he wrote down in his little diary. He was like, these people are worshipping these big statues. Interesting. Let's put a pin in that. And he left.
Yeah.
So the statues themselves were built between 1250 and 1500.
All right.
I always like hearing what other places around England were doing during this time, because what were we doing?
What were we doing? Not making amazing...
Tudors, that's what we were doing.
Right.
And they're building really cool statues, so...
And we're building black and white
And the
themed
Aztecs
houses.
had running water in every house at this point as well.
Did they?
Yes.
Wow.
Aztecs.
We're so far behind.
No, the Aztec civilization, pre-Spain and Hernan Cortez, I hate that man.
Yeah.
Ruined everything. The Aztec, apart from like the human sacrifice, was really nice. So during this time, building big statues. So a lot of them are at the quarry still. Like when you go visit now, a lot of them are like half done.
Oh, right.
And I really like that, because
is that saying that like they were abandoned, or were
they may have been faulty?
Oh,
so
right.
like, you know, when you're chiseling and you get a crack that runs through it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Egypt.
Yes. Yeah. I love those obelisks. Yeah.
Where there's like a faulty one, they leave it because it shows you the process. Because everyone's like, how did they get here?
How did they do this?
Surely they did not build these. Yes, they did, because they're in the quarry still.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So there are hundreds to thousands around the island.
Wow. We should
so
go.
many.
If anyone wants to sponsor us going,
destination, you know.
Oh, is it not?
Like, you know, like Hawaii. We need to leave Hawaii alone.
I wouldn't ruin it. I'm a scout.
Okay.
I live by Scout law. Scout promise. Oh, God. Leave a place better than you found it.
So they were up to 86 tons.
Wow.
And 10 meters in height. Which is crazy. I don't think I obviously have seen something that big, but I feel like, you know, when you look at them on TV, you don't really realise the magnitude of them.
Wow, really?
So if we did visit, that would be interesting to see in person.
I'm surprised the British haven't taken one and brought it back.
I bet you they have. I haven't looked into that. Well, it was in Night in the Museum, but it could have been a replica.
That's New York, yeah.
Yeah, the British probably have done something, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they were built to honour chieftains or other important deceased people. So they were kind of like memorials.
Oh, okay.
And they were placed on platforms, which were the tombs of these people.
Oh.
So, obviously I said that they get up to 10 meters in height, but this is a range. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, and this is because they were built by a certain group on the island, and your tribe, after your chieftain had died, would go to this, like, whoever's building them and be like, here's this currency. They didn't trade in money. It was more like, I read it online, it was like eggs, cows, you know, like...
Oh, it was like stuff. Like
things.
Yeah.
So they'd give them this, and the more they gave them, the bigger the statue would be. So it shows how much they loved the person who died, or how much hard work they're willing to put in to get this memorial. Yeah. Which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So when they were placed where they were meant to be. They put the eyes in, and have you seen the ones with like the blocks on their head?
No.
Well, some of them had these blocks on their head and they were meant to represent hair. They look like hats,
Okay.
but it's meant to represent hair.
Okay.
And that's because in their culture, their hair, long hair, showed mental power. So you know how like in Game of Thrones,
Yeah. She has plaits.
yeah,
Khaleesi plaits
yeah,
of hair.
and like they cut their hair after they lose a fight.
Khal Drogo's lot.
Yeah.
They're Dothraki.
Yeah. So the Dothraki's hair is really important to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mawais show the hair as this like power symbol, basically, of intelligence rather than physical power.
Oh, right, okay.
So the big question is, how did they get there? How did we move them?
I've seen a lot of different theories.
Yeah. So I've got a couple that I think make sense. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and build a mental picture in the listener's mind of this, because
Okay.
you can't see it. But if you want to see it, Google it and it'll be fine. But they tie ropes to the top and
Yes.
rock them back and
This
forth.
is the way that I believe they were moved as well.
And it makes sense, and people have recreated this and it has worked.
Yeah.
Or they'd use like rollers.
Yeah.
So like
And
the
then
same,
lift it to place.
yeah, the same questions surround how the pyramids were built.
Mm.
People think it's impossible, or they think that aliens did it. I have a really, really big problem with the ancient aliens theory.
Mm.
I think it's extremely disrespectful,
Mm.
even racist,
Mm.
because you're saying that these
Surely
quote
don't
unquote primitive people
yeah.
don't have
When they
the
absolutely were not.
intelligence or the power to do these amazing things, which
Mm.
isn't true.
We don't make anything amazing anymore.
Yeah.
Anything as wondrous as that.
Yeah. So I think this whole ancient aliens thing, I'm really not a fan. And it's also a bit lazy,
Mm.
because you're not trying to figure out how these things were actually done.
Yeah.
So
It's like magic.
it's like, oh,
It was done with magic.
these people weren't good enough to do it.
There's
We
no
can't do
way.
it, so they can't do it. So
Yeah.
it must have been
Oh.
aliens. No, I don't like that. So yeah, main theories are the rope rocking.
Yeah,
and the
I
rollers.
believe that's probably what happened.
I also believe that.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, can you tell me the name of the pharaoh, please? Because
Akhmun-Ra.
oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Akhmun-Ra. I always forget how to pronounce it, so
Akhmun-Ra.
I ask Amanda. So
Remy Malik, by the way.
yeah, Freddie Mercury is the pharaoh.
You know what? When I was watching it, I was like, damn, he doesn't half look like Freddie Mercury.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's the teeth.
I think he's got like an overbite, hasn't
It's
he?
the teeth that they put
Yeah.
on him in the film.
Well, yeah, in the Night at the
But
Museum.
in like
He
the
proper
museum,
does sort of look like him. I'm like, whoa.
yeah, in the Night at the Museum, I was like, he could pass as an Egyptian pharaoh. Like,
Yeah.
he looks like, you know, this.
I don't know if he is.
No.
Is he not?
Do you know how, like, have you seen those memes where it's like this person looks like they're from the Renaissance?
No.
So it's like certain people have like an old timey face,
Oh.
and I think Rami Malek has that.
Yeah.
Akhmun Ra, again, fictional.
Yeah.
He's a fictional teenage pharaoh. So, who is also a real teenage pharaoh?
King Tut.
Yes.
Hey,
So-
I know my Egyptian stuff.
When I was researching this, I was like, yeah, I could talk about King Tut.
I love watching TikTok videos
Yeah.
about like Egyptian like family trees,
Yeah.
and it's like King Tut was not what we've been told.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I'm going to talk about his dad.
Yeah.
Because King Tut, born 1324 BC, was 19 when he died. He had all the little ducks in his tomb. Have you seen that? He had like
No.
little duck figurines in his tomb.
Oh, did he like ducks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he was only 19 when he died. I think
Oh,
that makes it
that's
more
so
tragic,
cute.
doesn't it, as well? So King Tut is interesting, but I feel like that's been done
too much.
too much. So we're going to talk about his dad, Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
My favorite, not my. Let's say my most interesting pharaoh.
Okay.
Because do you know about how in Egypt they worshipped a pantheon of gods, same
Yeah.
as Greece,
Yeah.
and Rome?
Osiris.
Yeah. So we had like it's polytheistic.
Yeah.
As
Many
opposed
gods.
to monotheistic, which is like
One.
Christianity,
Yeah.
Judaism,
Yeah.
Islam. Akhenaten was born in 1372 BC. He is King Tut's dad, and he created a new religion, arguably the world's first monotheistic religion.
Okay.
So, as I said, Egypt worshipped many gods. Akhenaten was like, not a fan. So he decided...
So many names to remember.
Yeah.
How about we just have one?
Yeah, he's like, I like the sun, you know.
Oh, I want to worship the sun.
He's like, So, usually, gods in ancient Egypt were anthropomorphized, which means that they were given human-like features. So, the god of the sun previously was like a body with like an animal head. That's how a lot of Egyptian gods were.
Yeah.
But it was to represent the sun. He was like, no, let's worship the disc of the sun, which is the Aten.
Okay.
Akhenaten. A lot of Egyptian...
It all makes sense.
A lot of Egyptian pharaohs took on a name, and it's like something of something. So it's like something of, so his is of Aten, which is his favourite god, and to him, the best god. So this was common that pharaohs did this and was like, this god's my god, basically.
Yeah.
Rome did it as well. So do you know about like certain emperors would be like, oh, I'm Jupiter, oh, I'm Apollo.
Yeah.
So he took this to a new level with this art and stuff.
Yeah.
So he started erasing other gods from temples. He was like...
What, like he just went over and put a big
No, he'd
X
like
on
chisel them out and
Yeah.
redo it with
Oh,
Arten.
okay.
And he's like, yeah, Arten is... He's the guy.
Interestingly enough, there's a bit of a tangent, sorry.
It's okay.
The so in Rome next to the Colosseum there's the Ark of Constantine.
Oh yeah.
He did the exact same thing. So the arch itself
Yeah.
is called a spolia, so it's lots of different pieces smashed into one piece. And
Like a
Constantine,
mosaic.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's called a spolia because it's a monument.
Oh, okay, I see.
So what he did was he would chisel the features of the previous emperors and put his face in their place.
So funny.
But
This is Constantine.
Yeah.
The first Christian emperor as well.
And so he did that, and he would chisel their faces out, put his face in that place. And the way that it was set up was that when they would come back from like a triumphant fight, they would go past and he would be like, I am so great. Look at all of this stuff that I've done.
Well, Akhenaten kind of did that, but with... It wasn't so much, I'm great, it's look at the Arten.
Yeah.
So I'm going to describe... Google this, because it's easier to understand. There's really, really, really good YouTube videos on this that I've watched in the past before even this podcast existed.
Okay.
So I will put links to them
Yeah.
on our social media
Okay.
if you want to learn more about Akhenaten, because I think it's really fascinating. But it's like the disc of the sun, so it's like a circle, and then coming out are like lines with little hands on.
Okay, like claws.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then he's like touching the pharaoh, or he's touching the pharaoh's wife.
Yeah.
So it's like the Arten's putting his power into the,
Yeah.
you know, like what's it called? Divine rule.
Mm-hmm.
Very prevalent in many, 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 many civilizations.
Yeah.
Just another iteration of that. So he was different from the rest. He was not like other girls. He was not like other pharaohs.
It's not like all of those other girls.
Yeah. So after he died, obviously this does not stick around.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know about Akhenaten, you probably didn't know this happened.
Yeah.
So obviously his son, who I mentioned before, King Tut, came in, and he was like, Dad,
What are you doing?
God.
Dad, you're so embarrassing.
Yeah. So he, Tutankhamun,
Yeah.
our moon, is the previous head of the gods, god of the gods.
Okay.
So he's took that into his name to be like, yeah, we're going back to how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Akhenaten. So back to Night in the Museum. What's his name?
Arkham Ra,
Yeah. Based on King Tut, I thought his name sounded similar to Akhenaten.
as in the father. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to go for that.
Yeah. No, I
So-
think that's it. That's a good link.
Our last two come as a pair in the film, not so much in real life.
Yeah, I know.
So we have Teddy Roosevelt, played by the amazing Robin Williams.
Yes.
And then we have Sacagawea.
And she's played by Mizu Peck. I might have said her first name wrong. Mizuo Peck.
And in the film, they're kind of lovers. There's like a
Like a
romantic
sort of-
tension there.
Yeah, well, I think the point of that is, so Sacagawea, she's in like a glass cabinet.
Yeah, and
And
can't
Teddy-
hear her, can you?
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt was known for doing like amazing stuff, pushing himself out of his comfort zone
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's
He was
even
a-
mentioned in the
yeah.
film that like, you know, Teddy, you've done all these amazing things, but you won't go and speak to a woman, like in a glass case.
Incel. I'm sorry to any Americans who got offended with that, because what I can tell from my research is Teddy Roosevelt was pretty well liked. If you are one of my American friends or you're an American viewer, let me know, because I feel like it's hard to gauge public opinion from reading stuff on the internet.
Oh yeah,
unless you really delve in.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Teddy Roosevelt first. Theodore Roosevelt, 26th president, writer, naturalist, and soldier. Born in 1858, died in 1919. So his main accomplishments as a president was he really expanded presidential power in the support of public interest.
Yeah.
Because usually I'd hear expanded presidential power and be like, red flag, red flag. But he was doing it to kind of protect the public from big business, which was a bit of a problem at the time.
Okay.
Because you know how we have the big pharma, big corporations now.
Big pharma, yeah.
It was more oil tycoons.
Yeah.
And they had hands in, well, it still happens now, but hands in everything.
Yeah.
And it was really detrimental to the workers and the normal people of America. So he was trying to mediate that a little bit. He was a mediator.
Yeah.
Won a Nobel Prize for mediating the end to the Russo-Japanese War in 1906. Which, in the storyline of Russia and Russian revolutions, the Russo-Japanese War is kind of a pivotal point. Russia lost. Spoiler. Sorry. Yeah, Russia lost that, and then that caused a snowball Russian revolution.
Of effects,
Yeah. He also began construction on the Panama Canal.
Yeah, interestingly enough, yeah. I think that's like Panama Canal for trade.
Yeah. So
it's a wonder in Civ 6.
He's making big boss moves.
He's a big boss. He's a big girl boss.
In contrast, I have a little story
to
tell.
Okay.
So what I was trying to do here was facts and a cute story.
Okay.
This story is questionably cute. Are you ready?
Okay.
Did you know the teddy bear was named after Teddy Roosevelt?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew this, but I'm pretty sure the first teddy bear was like 1906 for Queen Victoria. But it wasn't known as the teddy bear.
Trademark teddy bear because of him.
Wow.
So, he was out.
Tony just did a head bop.
Yeah. He was out hunting. And because he's the president, he gets taken hunting. So the guys who took him hunting were like, hey Teddy, look at this. It's an old bear tied to a tree. We've done it so you can shoot it. Thank us later. And he's like,
what the heck?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, because he's just such a nice guy, this story in the newspaper, everyone loved it. They're like, oh,
he doesn't want to
kill the bear. Oh. So then a shopkeeper was like, business idea. Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
And with his permission,
oh wow,
made the teddy bear.
Yeah.
What wasn't reported was the fact that Mr. Teddy himself said, I won't shoot the bear. You can though.
Yeah.
You can. So not as good as it may seem, unfortunately. But I thought that was interesting because I feel like I'm sure every American child knows this information.
Yeah.
And we're like, whoa, teddy bear.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, whoa. But I bet you this is taught to them in like when they're like 3.
Yeah.
But
probably.
There you go. Our final entry is Sacagawea, who was a Native American lady, and she helped the Lewis and Clark expedition explore Louisiana, or the territory of Louisiana.
Yeah, but she was like a tracker.
Yeah, she was translator. She would tell them where to go, you know, because this is her land.
Yeah.
So they came, and she was like, "I will help you."
Girl boss.
Yeah, but her life was quite tragic. So, this, the reliable information we have about her life is very limited because record keeping in Native American culture is very oral tradition, and Western / colonial culture is very written. So there's a bit of a disconnect there. But from what we do know, when she was age 12, she was taken captive and then sold to a Canadian man to be his wife. Non-consensually, of course.
Isn't the Disney film Pocahontas basically around
I haven't watched Pocahontas in so long.
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
John Smith is her guy, but this is Lewis and Clark. I think the John Smith and Pocahontas stuff is a separate story that's also true.
Oh, right, okay.
I think.
Okay.
Because I think I'm
yeah, maybe
90% sure that this John Smith guy is real.
Mm.
But I haven't seen it in so long.
It's the most common name.
Yeah, but back
in the
then,
UK.
you know. Yeah. So she helped out on this expedition after, as a child, she was won in a gambling game, which is horrific.
Yeah.
She was only 19 when she was helping out on this expedition. She already had a kid. She was pregnant with another one. And then afterwards she died of an unknown sickness. Again, record keeping, but, you know, and understanding medicine and stuff, because this was in, like, she died in 1812 when she was 24.
Jeez.
So after her death, her legacy kind of was used as a symbol of women's suffrage and women's independence by the National American Women Suffrage Association in the 20th century.
Okay.
So what I wanted to have a little chat about is how this poor woman is used firstly as a gambling chip, then as a compass, and then as a logo.
As a compass and then a logo.
Well, like, as a symbol for this American suffrage woman group.
Oh, right, okay.
And
she's been many things in her short 24 years.
And none of which is a fully understood person.
Yeah.
And I think that when we're discussing people who haven't been given their own voice, we need to keep this all in mind. So, like, Native history. If anyone's watched Killers of the Flower Moon in the cinema recently,
I haven't, but I've heard it's meant to be good.
Yeah, it's a book as well. That's a bit of a exploration into Native history and the mistreatment of Native Americans. Oh. I'm not gonna expand on that much here because I could talk about this for like 3 hours. It's important, but I just wanted to say, like, I wish we got a little bit more of that in the film.
Yeah.
Because she's a bit, maybe in America you guys know about her as well, but this whole giving marginalised people a voice is something that I really, really stand for. I did it for my dissertation, basically.
Yeah.
Not for Native Americans, but for decommissioned soldiers, black soldiers after the Second World War. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up Sacagawea. If anyone's interested, I will do a full episode on her, but obviously we're just doing a little...
we can put it in the poll.
Yeah, we're just doing a little bit. Oh, our poll this week can be which of these people that I've spoke about do you want a full episode on? And I'll do a full episode on them.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think as I'm being a tour guide, we don't want to sit here and talk about one person for like 40 minutes, but I will do because I think it's really important. So that's the end of our tour. Gift shop is on your left.
Any donations?
Please
put your coins in the spinny thing.
No, put your coins in my PayPal. Please. I hope this was fun.
Thank you, Toni, for
the tour.
Yeah, it was very informative, and
Thank you.
I do love Night at the Museum. I feel like it's a bit of a favourite for everyone.
Yeah,
like it's a great family film. Yeah, lots of stories, lots of interesting topics. I love the Neanderthals in the film. I think they're so funny, and
I've got so many ideas for podcast episodes. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like
that's good.
I could talk about every one of these people and the Neanderthals and everything. Like, oh my god. So
yeah,
catch us next year when I've spoke about all this stuff. We might do a horrible histories episode.
Oh, stop! I'm working my way through horrible histories.
Matt Baton, if you're listening, come on the podcast, please. We love you. Please. In the Dick Turpin cosplay.
Yes. I was just a highwayman of daylight robbery.
Yeah. Thank you guys. We will see you next week
for another
episode
5.
Amanda's episode.
Yeah, it'll be in last week's poll.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If you want us on our socials, check the description of the episode.
Yes. And if you're watching on YouTube, I will put in our socials at the end of the video, which should be up now. Yeah. And I might even pop in some little pictures from Night at the Museum as well, and splash up on YouTube a little bit.
Footnotes from me. Any interesting things that you might want to look at, I'll put in the descriptions of YouTube and on our Instagram as well.
Yep, you can tweet us.
Yeah.
Comment on stuff.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to start doing from now on is putting some footnotes in, just some resources in case anyone's interested. Yeah. You probably won't be, because you're not like me and want to know everything about everything.
So in Indiana Jones, and the woman who's like, I haven't watched
Indiana Jones.
I'm sure like an alien comes down and like this woman wants to know everything that there is about the world ever, and the alien, and she's like, I want to know.
Oh, I didn't know
And
what
he
you were
puts his
saying.
hands on her head and like he tells her all the information, but he tells her too much.
Oh no,
And
it's
she
like Doctor
dies.
Who. It's like Doctor Who where it's like literally episode 1 or 2 of Chris Eccleston and Billy Piper, and he's like Rose, and he takes her hand and he's like, I feel the earth spin. And she's like, wow,
We're halfway there.
wow.
It's a very singy episode.
Yeah, we need to stop because I
Okay.
can't sing. Amanda can sing. Okay. We'll do a read through of Hamilton next week, alright?
Oh,
We
right,
won't
okay.
really. Okay, love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.